Well, I can say so far down the franchise lane of Godzilla, it has been a long and interesting trip. But Godzilla really is changing, and we can see that change even further in today's film. The eighth in the franchise, why I'm talking about Son of Godzilla 1967. Once again, we have director Jun Fukuda, who directed Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. He's back to give us a tale of folks who are doing an experiment. They're scientists on this remote island, middle of nowhere, doing experiments with weather. They're trying to improve things greatly because they recognize that the planet is in dire need because the weather could cause famine in the near future. Wow, how prophetic was that, actually? But in any case, while they're there, they notice interference that somehow is linked to Godzilla. Well, we soon find out how it is linked when an egg is revealed thanks to the digging work of 3 gigantic praying mantises. And we see Godzilla show up just in time to see his son hatch from the egg. And as his son gets bullied by these big, large insects, Godzilla shoos them away, takes the young man under his wing, and Godzilla shows the new little baby Godzilla the ropes of what it means to be a big, gigantic, fire-breathing monster. Meanwhile, the humans are still trying their experiments, which exactly don't go according to plan, as you would imagine, and have an effect to all the creatures on the island, including the gigantic spider, which also lives there. This is our first introduction to Monster Island, or as it's called, I think, in the English version, Monsterland later on. But this is Monster Island. This is what becomes Monster Island. And this is the second film in the Showa era that takes place not on the mainland in Tokyo at all. We don't see any mainland in Tokyo. It's on another Pacific island. Though they do set up things here going forward, we will see Monster Island again. So it was interesting to see the introduction of Monster Island. And it is in full effect the lightheartedness that this franchise has taken. You just think about it going, wow, where have we come from and where are we now? And it is definitely more for children. You get the story of bullying in here, standing up for yourself. You get this showing of a relationship between a parent and a child. All this through Godzilla and his son. And I really loved those elements, though I never really cared for, I believe it is referred to as Manila or Manya, the baby form of Godzilla. Never really cared for the character, but looking at it as an older Godzilla viewer, I see now the relationships, and being a dad myself, what they were going for, and I appreciate that quite a bit and think they accomplished that well. Now, as far as the human storyline goes in here, I think it's more intriguing than the one that was in Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, namely for a very strong female character that shows up, probably the strongest so far, I would say, in the Showa era, and that's played by Beverly Maida, and she plays Psycho Matsumiya, and I probably murdered that name. I apologize. But also referred to as Rico. And yeah, I enjoyed her character quite a bit. 90% of her character is not damsel in distress. In fact, she's a better runner and better at other things than most of the other humans on the island. So yeah, she was a surprise character that shows up in here. Now we got Akiko Harada once again showing up in here. He's not going to show up again now, though, until Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla down the road. So this is going to be the last time we see him for a while. We got Akira Kubo showing up again. He was in Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. He's back as a reporter. Again, another running theme, though they at least keep it in that vein, where all the way through, always it's been about the press and truth and reporting it. You always get this underlying theme through all these Godzilla films. I love that. And even in this kid version, you still get that through the character of Goro, who is the reporter in here. You also have Kenji Sahara showing up in here as well. So a lot of familiar faces showing up. And since it's geared towards kids, we get a lot of monster action. I mean, tons of monster fighting going on, monster models, people hiding from monsters. I really enjoyed that. There are some tense moments in here. It just, that the young Godzilla character really just does not sit well with me and kind of gets on my nerves just a little bit, from the sound effects for him to everything. But other than that, I will say Son of Godzilla is a watch, and I appreciate it a lot more now watching it years later from when I first watched this. So again, if you're looking to be a completionist, you'll want to check this out. Also, you want to check it out because it does set up things for the next film, which we will talk about, which is an amazing film that could be considered the Avengers Endgame of the Godzilla franchise, if that was actually the final film. So that's coming up in our next review, so stay tuned for that. Please check out our Patreon if you haven't already. I appreciate your support. This has been a lot of fun so far. I hope you're enjoying this as well. And as always, remember, keep that ticket stub.